Hi everyone, I'm Lori and this is a Simple Living channel where I cover many different topics to try to help make your life a little simpler. And today I'm going to talk about retirement planning. I'm actually considering retiring myself within the next year. And there's lots of things that I think would make it easier to transition from working full time to going into retirement. There's lots of worries that I'm having, and I've talked to a lot of different people, looked up different resources, and I've come up with a list of things that I think if you have the time to prepare ahead of time by doing these, it will hopefully make retirement, easing into it, just a little easier for you, and you will have a more enjoyable time right from the beginning. So let's go through the list. The first thing you should do is take advantage of any existing medical benefits that you might get from where you work. If you have major dental work to be done, or you need new eyeglasses or contacts, or perhaps you're considering a hearing aid, orthotics, or you just want to get in some final massages, take advantage of those benefits because you may not have that after you retire. The next thing that I would recommend is for you to make sure that you have done a complete assessment of your finances so that you are comfortable that you're going to be okay financially and it's not a worry and a strain. So you need to look at what all of your expenses are today, and then also consider some expenses that might be eliminated once you retire. Like perhaps if you're traveling for work, you may have, gas expenses, parking, or if you're taking public transit, going out for lunches, perhaps buying certain supplies, whatever. You can eliminate those expenses and then look at what all of your sources of income are going to be. So you may be getting government pensions, you may have a pension at work, you may have personal savings, that sort of thing. And then figure out, based on how much your expenses are going to be, just to make sure that those income sources are adequately going to cover what your expenses are, as well as also you need to consider the additional expenses that you might have, things you want to do that now that you're retired. So I know myself, I'd like to be doing a lot more traveling, and perhaps what else would I like to do? I don't know. I think there's probably going to be different things that I'm going to be spending money on. Maybe I'll be going out for more lunches, visiting people, that sort of thing that might, drive a little bit more expense. So I want to be able to comfortably do that. Also, make sure you talk to your financial advisor and that they have a plan that they've worked out with you. And you need to revisit that fairly frequently before you retire, just to make sure that everything's on track, so that you're comfortable and not worried about your finances when you do start your retirement. The next thing that I would recommend doing is to start jotting down ideas of things that you want to do when you are retired. So do you want to travel more? Do you want to do lots of organization within your house? Do you want to do renovations? Do you want to be visiting friends and family more? Just start putting together a bucket list so that you can start in your mind to prioritize some of these things, so that when you actually start your retirement, you're just not sitting there and end up as being a couch potato watching TV. You've got some goals and some things to get you started, and I think having a bucket list would really help with that. Another thing, if you're worried about not being busy enough when you are retired and you are worried about not having enough contact with people, and maybe your job, you got satisfaction out of it, what you might want to do is consider volunteering. So you might want to volunteer a little bit before you retire so you get some ideas about things that you might enjoy. You can check local charities in your neighborhood, check with your neighbors to see what they would recommend. If there's local organizations where you can volunteer, or, you can always search for things on the web. So that's something, if you are interested in volunteering, that would probably be good to do a bit of research before you actually hit that retirement date. Another big one would be to save for big purchases. If there are things that you want to purchase that you're going to need down the road, like it could be appliances for your house, a furnace, maybe you need a new fence, or maybe you need a new vehicle. What you should try to do with the 3 to 5 years before you retire, if you know ahead of time, is start putting a little bit of money away for that, so that when you reach retirement, you're just not all of a sudden having to dig into your retirement portfolio, because you want to be able to have that money there to live day to day, as well as to have those things that you want to enjoy. So if you have these other expenses that is coming up, then start putting a little money away and save for it. Also, a lot of people have said that they have found that they needed something to do. So, they've started a hobby, or they've started a small business. So I think for me, the fear of retiring is that I'm not going to be fulfilled. I'm just going to kind of be like, what do I do now? I need to be busy, and I need to be fulfilled, and I want to do something, and I want to be creative. So you might want to think about starting a hobby or starting a small business. You could, go into direct sales and have house parties, selling things. You could start some different hobbies. If you wanted to learn musical instruments, perfect time to do it when you're relaxed and you can just take your time. You can take some lessons. You could also consider doing a YouTube channel, which is a very good way to have a creative output. And you never know, you might be successful with it and create a residual income from it. So there's lots of different ideas out there that you could do to start a small business, or different hobbies that you could do. Lastly, one of the things that was brought to my attention that you should plan for is plan your celebration. If you've been working, 25 years, 30, 40 plus, whatever, you deserve to celebrate that you are moving into the next phase, and hopefully the best phase of your life, the retirement phase. And you deserve to celebrate. So plan a party, plan a trip, spa day, whatever that might be, that you will get a lot of joy and satisfaction from. Go ahead and plan for that to celebrate your retirement. So those are the things that I have thought about so far that I should do to prepare for my retirement. If you have other ideas and thoughts about that, other things that you think might be more important, or things that I've just totally missed, that would be really good for me to consider. If you could actually just write in the comments, that would be terrific. I'd really appreciate and love to hear your different ideas and what you think is important in terms of planning a retirement, to be able to ease into it and enjoy it as best you can. Again, I'm Lori, and this is a Simple Living channel. And if you like the types of stories and helpful things that I bring to you to help make your life simple, I hope you will subscribe to my channel. And if you like this video, if you could give me a thumbs up, that would be great. So here's to a happy retirement coming up for you and me. All right, everybody, have a great day. Bye-bye.